Always do that. I'm a night rider. Every time that I go up past midnight, I swear I get higher.
Rest in peace,
Swear I
brother.
gotta get higher now. I'm a night rider. Every time that I give what I got, I supply that fire. I supply that fire.
What's going on, you beautiful bookworms, and welcome back to another episode of Bookmarks with Bump, the social commentary podcast where I compile a list of the greatest threads that I find while I'm on the shitter Twitter, while I'm scrolling through Twitter on the shitter at work. Never do quite find the time to read them in my personal life when I'm busy and bustling and on the move. So I thought, what a better way to force myself to clean this area of Twitter than to start a podcast. And here we are, 59 episodes deep. I add my insight and tag along to the threads that I find, and we focus on a lot of what's going on in the world, but mainly fitness, mainly mindset, the grind, running, athletics. But we dive into the wicked world that is out there as well. Conspiracies, politics, you name it. We put our little touch on everything. I take a little piece of my life's expertise that I've gained through 31 years, many of which I was an active addict. I'm now 8 years California sober. A tool setter, a certified tool setter in the state of Connecticut, just another blue-collar boy and a certified personal trainer. I am a certified dog, check the resume, multiple endurance races under the belt. It's kind of just what I do, man. And so what a better personality to hop on a pod and tell you exactly how to live your life than a complete fuck up. Now that I've reformed myself, we can look at what exactly changed my life. And what exactly changed my life was running. And I found a great thread about running. At least I found a great cover of a thread. This is funny because they always say to never judge a book by its cover, but I always judge a bookmark by its cover before I dive into the thread. So we're going to go over what it's like as a beginner, at the beginner stages of a runner. Mike Baer put out a thread. Running changed my life. Marathon, Ironmans, daily runs. 4 years ago, I was 20 pounds overweight, and I couldn't run 1 mile without stopping. If you're a beginner, here's exactly how to start. Now, this caught my eye because it kind of, reminded me of myself. Running did change my life, 100%. I was in the process of changing my life when I stumbled upon running, but running was really the fuse. The match was lit, but it didn't have a fuse yet, and running has become my why. 4 years ago, I'm looking at 6 years ago now. In 2019, I hopped on the scale, and I was waking up every day. My back hurt, my knees hurt, everything just sucked. And I thought, if this is what life was like at 24, what is it going to be like at 42? If I don't make some changes here. I started with diet, body weight exercises like squats, push-ups, sit-ups, all of that, before I even got into running. This was in February of 2019. And by the time I got into my first run, it was about 3 months later. I had lost about 70 pounds. I was down to 210 or 211. I believe that day when I got on the scale, it was 286 pounds. My peak weight of all time was 315. I've been all over the place, always, as a waiter. My weight has always fluctuated up and down. And when I got down to 210, I was a different 210 than I had been before. I'd been to 200 pounds multiple times. Never below it. But I'd always hovered around anywhere from 200 to 280 pounds in my teenage years and my early adult life. When I got down to 210, I was going for walks, and walking quickly became boring after a while. And I thought to myself, well, if I'm in this shape, if I worked this hard to get here, I bet you I could run now. I ran for about 45 seconds, and I had to stop. That burning feeling in the lungs, the cramps in the side. All of those typical things that stop you. I never had to deal with shin splints, thank God, but this is where I was at. And that's what caught my eye. 4 years ago, 20 pounds overweight, couldn't run 1 mile without stopping. That said to me, hey, this is a thread you should go over. You could tag on a lot with this. So I did that 45-second jog, and then I thought of how am I gonna get through this? This is something I want to do. It was fuel to the fire. I was so pissed off by the failure but I wasn't bitter or jaded by it. I was fueled by it, and that's been my mantra ever since: is to never get bitter, never gets you jaded. You have to use it as a fuel. It has to be something that you want retribution on. My whole life is a comeback story, and that's just exactly what I made it. And I won't stop living my life like that. When I run into a wall or find an obstacle that I think I can't get around, I will find a way through every single time. Because that's what I've taught myself running, and that's when things really started to change. I found an app, Couch to 5K, might completely nullify what this entire thread is about. But once I started going along with that, I was so enthused and addicted to running. And looking back on, being somebody who was addicted to cocaine, running probably supplied that dopamine endorphin that I hadn't felt in a long time. Being somebody who was a drinker, running was something that kept me accountable, because if it wasn't for running, if it wasn't for me wanting to wake up and run in the morning, I don't think that I'd ever. I don't think I could drink and be able to do that, and it's made an addiction to drinking become a complete farce. Something that it's not even feasible for me at this point, because there's never a day in my life where I want to feel like I could escape from reality more than I want to feel the ground underneath me on a run, especially a run like today. And that's what makes me so grateful. It's 6 years later, here I am, and I went for a 5-mile run today. It's July 24th. Hulk Hogan died today. Rest in peace, brother. 20,000 screaming Hulkamaniacs are at the pearly gates waiting for you to come in. Coincidentally, on the 10th anniversary, I'm not going to bring it up. The guy's dead. Leave him alone. T's and P's. The Hulk Hogan, but what was I even talking about? Oh, it was 90 degrees and humid, and Scott Haney was calling it a heat wave, even though we've already seen 98 degrees multiple days in a row this year. So I don't know what is a heat wave at all anymore. I mean, people are just soft. I passed this guy on the trail, and he was like, props to you, man. And he was running. I had ran while he was running the opposite way of me. And by the time I turned around halfway and came back, he had stopped running and was walking about 1.25 miles from the parking lot of the trailhead. And I just told him, you just got to keep pushing. And those are little things that fuel me. When you're out there just snatching souls, as David Goggins says, I ran right past the guy who ran right past me a long time ago, too. Got to give it to him. He's out there. He's pushing. It's humid. It's really, really humid today, and it was really, really draining. But if I didn't do what I did 6 years ago, I wouldn't be able to be where I am now. And that's something that you could do, too. So the thread goes on to say, if you're a beginner, here's exactly how to start. Start embarrassingly small, Mike Bear says. Your first goal isn't to run a marathon. It's to run for 1 minute without stopping, then walk for 2 minutes, and repeat 3 to 5 times. Most people try to do too much too soon and end up burning out week 2. And follow the 10% rule. This is number 2. Increase your weekly mileage by no more than 10% each week. Week 1, 3 miles total. Week 2, 3.3. Week 3, 3.6. This prevents injuries and builds a sustainable base, and this is how I train in the off season. Number 3, 80% of your runs should be easy. If you can't hold a conversation while running, you're going too fast. Easy paces build your aerobic base, build your aerobic base without beating up your body. Save the hard efforts for 1 to 2 runs per week maximum. This is why when you do your long runs while you're training for a long race, you're going to run at a conversational pace. Because all of that speed, you're building endurance there. You're building an aerobic base. And ultimately, you're going to run for longer on a 10-mile run than you would in a 13.1-mile race. Because you're dialing the pace back. Now, you have 2 days, like, for instance, this week, 2 days, I had, I actually didn't. I only had one tempo run, and that was today's 5-mile run. Tuesday is usually speed work, but it was just another 4-mile run. Next week, I get back into more speed work, and that's probably because of the way that I'm building mileage. I'm just following along with the schedule and sticking to the plan. Nonetheless, the hard efforts are for 1 to 2 runs per week. Like next week, I have 8 600-meter sprints and a tempo run. And then everything else is at an easy pace. Moving on. Number 4, focus on time, not distance. Beginners should think in minutes and not miles. Start with 20 to 30-minute sessions, including walk breaks. Time-based goals remove the pressure of hitting specific distances when you're building endurance. Because when your endurance starts to fail, your body starts to fail. And if you're looking to pace without the endurance, without the capability of the endurance you need, you're going to change your gait and your form without you even knowing. Your body is just going to adapt to what it's being demanded of, and you're going to end up building wear and tear. The thread goes on to say, with number 5 is to invest in proper shoes. Go to a specialty running store and get fitted. Your shoes should feel comfortable from day one. Replace them every 300 to 500 miles. And this is the most important gear investment that you'll make. Number 6 is to build the habit first, because consistency beats intensity every time. Run 3 days per week for the first month. Same days, same time if possible. Just build that routine. You're not just building fitness, you're building an identity as someone who runs. Number 7 is listen to your body. Some soreness is normal. Sharp pain, however, is not. Take rest days seriously. That's when your body adapts and gets stronger. If something hurts, take an extra day off. It's better to miss 2 days than 2 months with an injury. Number 8 is to have a plan for bad weather. Treadmill, indoor track, or just accept that some runs will suck. The goal isn't perfect conditions. It's showing up regardless of how you feel or what's happening outside. I love this. One of my favorite things that has ever happened to me on a run. It was a couple years ago. It was like January. We had just got this massive blizzard in Torrington, and of course I'm gonna go out for my regular run. Like, okay, the roads are paved now. It's not completely snowing. Maybe a couple flurries, but just go out and get it done regardless. Because, life is never perfect. And sometimes you're demanded of in life. And when you're demanded of, you have to deliver just like the mailman, rain, sleet, or snow. And I go out and I run, rain, sleet, or snow. There's only one exception to when I won't run, and that's when there's a lightning storm. I don't want to get electrocuted. I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if it's snowing. I don't care if it's sleet. I don't care. I've ran through hail before. I don't care. I'm going to run because I need to. I'm training for something. Moving on. Number 9 is to track your progress. Use a simple app like Strava. Just got it. I signed up and I'm paying for the subscription because of the feedback you get from it is incredible. So it's really helped me keep in touch with my tempo, keep in touch with my pacing, keep in touch with my speed workouts, and really get good splits out of it. And there are a lot of little tweaker rewards in there too. They hit the dopamine factor in your brain when you look at your run and you finish and you get a new, I did my best pace in this section of this run. I've never done that before. I had my best 3-mile split in the last 2 months. It reminds you of things like that, which when you get a pat on the back, it's always easier to keep doing the hard things. Number 10 Oh, sorry. That tweet, I didn't finish that. Seeing your weekly mileage build up is incredibly motivating. Sick motorcycle. Seeing your weekly mileage build up is incredibly motivating. Progress isn't always about speed. Sometimes it's just about consistency. Number 10 is to find your why. We talked about this a couple of months ago. We talk about this all the time. This is the biggest thing. Running for weight loss alone won't sustain you long term. Maybe it's stress relief, time to think, or proving to yourself you can do hard things. My why? Showing myself that I could transform from someone who couldn't run 1 mile to completing multiple Ironmans and marathons in a year. The truth about running, it's simple but not easy. You don't need perfect form, expensive gear, or natural talent. You just need to start and stick with it long enough to see what you're capable of. That's great. Shout out Mike Bear for the thread. Finding your why is a big factor of how fulfilled you're going to feel in life. You just have to find your why. A lot of people are walking around without purpose, and like my purpose isn't to run. Running is what helps me. Running is what helps me promote my purpose of what you can do with a second chance. Running is about accountability for me. Running is about being prepared. Running is about being prepared. It's about accountability. It is my why. It's not about winning races. I never set out for this and thought I was gonna win in every race that I've competed in. I've won races in my division, which is so cool, and it's a reward system. After a long day of work, I get to go for my run, and that's a reward for me. I've oftentimes said that running is the one time in the day where I can just not think about anything. I'm finding my rhythm and sticking to it. It's fun when I'm finally listening to what's going into my ears. I run to podcasts like a maniac. I don't even run to music. I'm listening to a conversation, and it's one of the most calming, soothing times of my day. Even in a sprint workout, it's just empty mind, no chaos, keep it pushing. And life is full of chaos. I mentioned during the beginning of this that Hulk Hogan died today. A lot of things are going on in the world today, especially on Twitter. I mean, one of the biggest things right now is Pedro Pascal just being a creep, using his anxiety to just touch people who don't want to be touched, touch people don't want you to touch, touching William Dafoe's wife. I don't know how this guy has found his way to skirt around Me Too and just use anxiety as a guise, because anxiety for me is like, that's part of the reason why I run too. Like, I think anxiety is just a buildup of energy in your body. And if you don't let it go, your body takes on this effect. It's much like how cortisol works and builds stress, and what that stress does to your body, with the way that you can gain fat, and so on and so forth. Yeah, Pedro's a bitch. He's a creep, dude. There's no way around it. Like, go for a run. Don't be a creep. That's really what it boils down to. Or let your stress build up. Don't take it out on other people. Let your stress build up to the point where you have intense back pain. And the only thing that could help your back pain is a thread from Dr. Biohacker. Fixing back pain is the easiest thing on earth. If your lower back aches, stiffens in the morning, or hurts after sitting, this isn't just aging. It's your spine overloaded and screaming for help. Here's what's causing back pain and how to fix it naturally. 80% of adults experience back pain. Most cases are caused by sitting too long, tight hips and muscles, weak glutes and core muscles, not abs. Not abs. You don't have to have abs to have a strong core. Poor posture, work, driving, sleeping, stress. The good news is that all of that is fixable. Fix number 1 is to mobilize your hips every day. Tight hips is why you have an overloaded spine. Do this daily. Couch stretch, 90-90 hip switches, windshield wipers I like to call those, deep lunge with a spinal twist, and foam roll hip flexors and quads. Free the hips and offload the back. Now, as always, there are videos and pictures included with a lot of these threads. The links to the threads are in the description. Please read along and follow along. Bookmarks with Bump is a pro read-along podcast. We really do wish that you would read along with us and make it a communal thing for all of us to enjoy the company of words and calligraphy amongst each other. The thread goes on to say that fix number 2 is to sleep in better alignment. You need to upgrade your sleep spine protection. Back sleepers, pillows under knees. Side sleepers, pillow between knees. Don't sleep on your stomach. Come on now. And avoids too soft of mattresses. Your spine doesn't reset if it's misaligned all night. The guy's laying down. He looks very comfortable here. So check out the thread. Fix number 3 is to strengthen your glutes and deep core. Your spine is only as strong as the muscle supporting it. Build this base with glute bridges, bird dogs, dead bugs, Pavlov presses, and RDLs. Start light. Stabilize from the center outward. Fix 4 is to learn how to sit. Most back pain starts at the desk, which is where I am right now. So let me sit along as we all read along. Upgrade your setup. Sit tall, hips above the knees. Support your lower back with a small pillow. Don't cross your legs and get up every 30 to 45 minutes to reset your posture. The way you sit is aging your spine. Fix it now. Doctor told you to. Listen to the guy. Fix number 5. Breathe into your lower ribs. Shallow chest breathing creates constant tension in upper traps and lower back. Try this. Place your hands on your lower ribs. Inhale through the nose and feel expansion. Exhale fully and slowly. Do 5 slow breaths 3 times per day. Or just do box breathing like I've been doing in the sauna. I think it's making me a more calm and composed person. Just kidding. I do feel like it's easier to fall asleep at night, though, so that's nice. Fix 6. Decompress your spine daily. Your spine is under constant pressure. Counteract gravity. Hang from a pull-up bar for 30 seconds. I do this multiple times before I start my workouts. Child's pose and deep breaths. Cat-cow mobility flow. These are yoga moves. Look them up. Do some yoga with Adrian. That's a free advertisement. I've given away 2 free advertisements on this podcast so far today. Yoga with Adrian on YouTube. She does it with her dog Baxter sometime. It's really fun to watch along. And I need a Theo Von and Yoga with Adrian podcast. That would be so sick because he's talked about her before. Moving on. Couch to 5K also got the free advertisement. So shout out to them. They really helped me. So lie on back with your feet elevated for 5 minutes and give your spine space to heal. Fix number 7 is to walk more because walking is natural spinal therapy. It restores cross-pattern movement, core engagement, glute activation, and joint fluid movement. Aim for 8,000 to 10,000 steps daily. Even short walks help your back more than stretching. When your spine is misaligned or overloaded, nerves compress, muscle spasms, discs degenerate, pain radiates, breathing weakens, posture collapses, it impacts your nervous system, digestion, and even hormonal balance. Your back is the center of your vitality. And it's not just age. And it never really is just age. I mean, I'm 31 and I feel younger than I ever have in my entire life. I feel, and I feel vital. I feel ready for whatever. And I think a lot of that has to do with my activity, the way that I train, and the way that I recover. I spend a lot of time on the foam roller, spend at least 30 to 40 minutes a day stretching throughout different periods of the day. When I wake up, before I go to bed, I stretch in the sauna. Hanging from a bar really helps decompress the back, and it's a great way to warm up your central nervous system and get your back muscles activated before a back workout. I do it before any workout, really. And it's not just your spine that helps out. That helps out all of your joints in the lower body. You think about the compression that your knees, your feet, your ankles, everything is under. And you get to release that every once in a while if you just hang out. Just like you're hanging out with me here on Bookmarks with Bump, a podcast all about Twitter. What's going on Twitter today? I mean, Justin Fields got carted off the field with the injury first day of training camp for the Jets, which is it's tragic because after Justin Fields' season last year with the Steelers, I was hoping that he was going to hit an uptick. He got a bag from the New York Jets, but it seems like they have to be cursed. That's just awful, and getting carted off the field is a very serious thing. Haven't heard anything since that, and it just really sucks for Justin Fields, who hasn't had a setback like this in his career. He really did get a bag too from the Jets. They hooked him up. There was another guy getting bags, but he was dropping bags off. Sina Sohanger put out a thread. A man walked into TD Bank branches carrying bags of cash. Literally bags. $400 million over 2 years. The bank filled 0 suspicious activity reports. Here's the insane story of how he got caught and why it took so long. Meet David. That's what TD Bank employees called Dai Yang Say, a 43-year-old from Queens running a Chinese money laundering ring. His job, take cash from the Mexican drug cartels and make it clean. There are some affidavits included in this thread, so please, I do implore you to go ahead and follow along with the link in the description. Bookmarks with Bump is a pro read-along show. The thread goes on to say the scale was astounding. 500 plus cash deposits totaling $400 million. Each deposit over $10,000 should have triggered a mandatory report to the government, but TD Bank didn't file anything linking the deposits to the man. But while the bank stayed silent, law enforcement was closing in. Dun dun dun! Law enforcement trailed a box truck crammed with cartel cash as it made its rounds across the tri-state area. David's crew was depositing bags of money, one bank at a time, and the feds were onto them. TD Bank employees, they watched from the inside and let it happen. Why? Chinese fentanyl traffickers bribed TD Bank staff with $57,000 in Amazon gift cards to launder their money. The scheme was simple: gift cards for ignoring drug money. Now, AI is catching patterns missed by humans, reducing bribery's effectiveness. In 2021, a TD Bank technologist asked, "What do the bad guys think of TD Bank?" The reply? Easy target. Old systems, poor agility. Tools like Google Cloud's AI for anti-money laundering didn't exist then, but today they could flag patterns that humans miss. TD Bank failed to monitor $18.3 trillion in transactions over 6 years. That's more than the entire U.S. GDP. Outdated systems missed it all. Today, AI can scan billions of transactions in real time to spot what humans and old tech can't. FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, noticed something strange. TD Bank had gone silent. No suspicious activity reports, no currency transaction reports. Trillions were moving through, and the silence itself became the smoking gun. FinCEN found TD Bank's AML program weak and underfunded. Vulnerabilities led to staff bribery and unchecked illicit funds, compromising the bank's integrity and exposing systemic failures and preventing financial crime. This brought the bank to the brink of a historic downfall. The punishment was swift and brutal. $3.1 billion in fines, the largest AML penalty in U.S. history. Over two dozen individuals were charged, and TD Bank was banned from expanding in the U.S., all because they chose corruption over compliance. AI could have caught this from day one. Pattern recognition would have flagged David's 500 plus cash deposits instantly. No gift cards, no corruption, just automated, unstoppable reporting. The tech isn't future talk, it's here now. Corrupt staff once let laundering slip through at TD Bank. Today, AI is changing the game. So, we did get duped by another AI advertisement. This is the second time this has happened here on the show, and I'm kind of really pissed off about it. The way they're so crafty and clever, and the way I don't really proofread these threads, it does nip me from time to time. But I'm telling you right now, there's a very valuable lesson here inside of all of this. We're talking about $18.3 trillion, more than the U.S.'s GDP. And what's enabling it to happen? Bribes. Okay? So these employees are getting bribed. What does that mean? A company that's circulating $18.3 trillion doesn't have enough money to pay their employees. Or at least pay their employees a livable wage. Now listen to me. Bank telling, maybe it's not a career, okay? It's a pink collar job, if you ask me. That is a supplementary income job for somebody who's not the head of the household. Now, maybe you shouldn't be trying to make your living doing that. Maybe you should get up and find a trade. Maybe you should get up and go. Make yourself something. However, there still is an argument for people who aren't capable of that and them being able to live to their means. And we live in an economy that is capitalist in nature, which is not a bad thing at all. It's great for small businesses. It's great to help people thrive and grow the entire population. But it does allow for some weaknesses. And one of the weaknesses here in this country is the CEO salary of a lot of companies. Like, think about that Coldplay guy who just had to resign from a CEO position. You know, the guy was making millions and millions of dollars every single year, and he couldn't even get front row seats to a Coldplay game, a Coldplay concert, or a suite, or somewhere with more cover, while he was out cheating on his wife, abandoning his family to watch Coldplay with the head of HR at his company. When I bet you he's got people who work for him that couldn't even get seats in the nosebleeds because they had to make sure they could get groceries that week. You know, I noticed the discrepancy of wages, especially where I work, where there are multiple levels of employment there. And it's somewhat disturbing to see how, like, some people try to live a life on a job that just can't quite supply it. And the grind that some people have to do. Some people work 2 full-time jobs. You know, I work 7 days a week. I make more than enough to live comfortably. But to see the necessity of supplement for people is it's alarming. How do we have so much wealth here, but not enough to spread? To me, it's not about the AI for TD Bank. To me, it's about the tellers. You have a community's cash flowing through your building. You should want to do everything to protect that. Not just be insured by the FDIC, but have people who have integrity behind those desks. And one way to implement and incentivize integrity is to pay people a wage where they feel like they're doing something with their lives. I'm so grateful for my company. It's not just because I don't have any children and I don't have a wife why I'm willing to work 7 days a week. I'm willing to do that for the company that changed my life. I got a job with this place. They gave me an opportunity and an apprenticeship. I changed my life with the way that I worked through that apprenticeship. Now, granted, I could have gotten an apprenticeship anywhere. If I got an apprenticeship anywhere, I should say, I would have attacked it the same exact way and would have found as much success as I'm having right now. However, this is the company that did it for me, so I'm going to express my gratitude by grinding because they've incentivized me. Any company will receive that benefit if they hire people with integrity and give them the incentive. It's not just about having the security of the AI. It's about having the security of the people who work for you. Money isn't about having flashy things. Money isn't about being able to collect materials. That's not what it is for. That's not what it's all about. What it is security. And by supplying your workers with livable, great wages. You give them the security to live without feeling like they need to claw for scraps, without feeling downtrodden, without taking bribes of gift cards from Amazon. Is Jeff Bezos to blame? He could be. Amazon gift cards, to me, if I would have saw that, I would, why? That's not what I need. I need rent money. But then you think about how much money you waste at Walmart when you're just walking through the department store. Go on Amazon. Get it sent to your house. Save the gas. Save the planet. And save yourself by finding your why, fixing your back, and having integrity. As always, it's all love. And it's another episode of Bookmarks with Bump. I wrapped it up a little too soon there. Please follow me on TikTok, bookmarkswbump. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review. All you bookworms are just so beautiful. I appreciate you every day. If you need help with your fitness, email me at bookmarkswbump@gmail.com. I will help you out building a workout, whatever help you need. As always, it's all love. God bless.
I supply that fire, man. I'm a night rider. I've been riding a wave like I surf. I've been leaning in and out of work. I could show you what it's worth. Money to the ceiling. I started at the dirt. I've been riding a wave like I surf. I've been leaning in and out of work. I could show you what it's worth. Money to the ceiling. I started at the dirt. I'm a night rider. Every time that I go up past midnight, I swear I get higher. Swear to God I get higher now. I'm a night rider. Every time that I give what I got, I supply that fire. I supply that fire, man. I'm a night rider. Every time that I go up past midnight, I swear I get higher. Swear to God I get higher now. I'm a night rider. Every time that I go up past midnight, I swear I get higher. Swear to God I get higher, man.